Can you hear me?
Let's say,
You read me loud and clear.
and okay, cool. All right, so we've got this. All right, I've got like
Excellent.
an earbud in. I've got my microphone. I'm running two cameras. I've got like my Twitch camera, which is the nice one, and then I got the one that you're looking at me on, which is like my integrated webcam, which is crappy and shitty, but it's like the way we have to do things.
That's all right. I'm using the magic of iPhone 13. So,
There you go.
yeah.
But so yeah, Valentine's Day, your birthday. How old are you? I keep forgetting.
I am 38.
38. All right. So you were
38.
born in 87. All right. All
87.
right.
Yep.
Having to do big math. Life is hard. Anyways, I've got like 45 minutes now before I have to go because oh, trying to get everything set up. So let's dive right in.
Cool.
Um, let's see. We had two movies we wanted to talk about today. We had the original My Bloody Valentine.
hmm
And was it the original Dracula? Like I looked on Wikipedia and I
Well,
did see where that one was like the Bela Lugosi to me is the original.
yes.
And I saw that was released February way back when.
Today, 92 years ago. 92, 93 years ago. So, uh, yeah, can you believe it's been that long?
For real. That's forever ago. I can't I shouldn't say that. My grandma's birthday is next week and she's going to be 91. So I shouldn't say that anything in 90 years plus is old, but she knows what she is.
So, yeah, it's really interesting. And I told we talked with my podcast coach Chris on Scared for Reals. Um, it's a really fun time of year for horror movies. It's and if you look just through like the history of horror movies, and not even necessarily Valentine's Day themed, just horror movies in general, a very strong month for horror movies just throughout. And it's I always say it's midwinter. No one's going outside, especially if you're like me in upstate New York, freezing his ass off in his garage.
I
There's,
won't tell you
you
what
know,
our weather's been.
yeah, no, please don't. um, yeah, you don't want to do too much outside, and obviously Valentine's Day, it's a date night, couples night, and what better way to spend your night watching a creepy movie?
Good point. Good point. Yeah. I actually never really put two and two together that there were so many horror movies that were released like this time of year until you said something. And then I was just like,
Yeah,
oh, yeah, I guess there are. Like, all the ones that come out like late summer and Halloween time frame and everything. But yeah, I never really think about this time of year unless it's like specifically a horror movie. Because what we had, you saw what, Hard Eyes, was it? Is the one
yes, I
from this
saw
year?
Hard Eyes.
Okay. I keep getting that one confused with the one with the dude from oh shit, what's it called? Babe, what's that movie called? The multiverse one that we just watched. Thank you. Everything all everywhere all at once. I keep forgetting that I want to call it anything, not but um yeah, the movie with him in it, I keep getting confused with Hard Eyes.
Yeah,
So
Hard Eyes was interesting. um, I don't know how
I
many
won't
of
make
your
you go too much detail into that one because I'm sure you've already discussed it with Chris.
yeah, it's new. I don't really want to spoil it for anybody if they're planning on seeing it this weekend or anytime soon. But it was like a mismatch of two movies in one. Didn't know what it wanted to be. Like you get into this really cool, interesting, like classics '80s slasher killer thing, and all of a sudden you're in a horrible '90s rom com. Like they didn't even do that good. It's like literally a stereotypical girl gets out of a relationship, hates men, meets guy, doesn't want anything to do with guy producer, she shuts him down. realizes she likes him before it's too late, and then all the while, people are getting murdered, in this interwoven slasher thing.
I want to know where's the movie, and maybe this one does exist, with the big titty goth girl who is trying to lure men off into the woods. Mostly just because I want to watch a movie with a big titty goth girl just
So do I.
constantly.
So do I. We got to hunt this one down.
That's the movie I would like to see, but that's just me. Nice. Especially if she has to run any, they bounce. All right.
Well,
I'm
listen,
getting.
if you watch the other movie we wanted to pick through, or My Bloody Valentine. If you watch the CW reboot that was done in the early 2000s,
That's the only
there
one
is
I've
a
seen. That's the only
wonderful
one I've seen.
scene just for you.
But yeah, no
You
lie.
are
I
in luck.
watched that one simply because of Jensen Ackles. And Jensen, sweetie, if this somehow ever makes it across your little world of things, baby, don't stick with TV. Don't do movies. You need time to explore your characters so that way your acting abilities are at top notch. My Bloody Valentine was not it, and neither has been any other movie I've seen you in. You are beautiful. You are a wonderful TV actor. Please stay small.
I mean, listen. To be fair, I call it the era of the CW remakes because they were remaking all these classic horror movies
I
with
also saw
CW cat.
the.
I mean, like
I was gonna say
everyone from the CW was in it.
I
I mean, all the
saw
way back to
the
Scream. You know,
what was it? The Friday the 13th. Is that the one?
yeah,
Yeah. With Jared Padalecki. I am
yeah,
a Supernatural fan, obviously.
yeah.
But, but yeah, actually, that was the first time I saw a Friday the 13th movie.
Oh, really? You know what? To be fair, I was just gonna say the My Bloody Valentine 3D and Friday the 13th. Uh, they weren't the worst uh, out of the group.
They weren't the best either.
They well, I wouldn't have saw them the best, yeah, but they weren't the worst. I mean, it
Actually,
wasn't Nightmare on Elm Street.
that's true. I saw, what was it? The Skulls, which was like
Mhm.
probably my first CW horror movie. With
Joshua Jackson.
yes, can I just say, since we're talking about My Bloody Valentine, I did look it up. It is a Canadian film. He is Canadian.
Yep.
God bless Canada.
God bless Canada.
There are some beautiful, beautiful people who come out of that country. Whew.
Yeah.
All right. We're not going to get me lost on that. So- which one do you want to really tackle first? My Bloody Valentine or Dracula?
I, either or, you pick. This is your show. I defer to you.
Oh man, most of my knowledge comes from big books. Actually, I do have a giant book on vampires that has excerpts from Bram Stoker's Dracula, which
Oh, cool.
I have to say I am more familiar with the book than I am with the movies. Um, I saw the Keanu Reeves one. I mean, who didn't?
Right.
um, I saw this one technically isn't a CW reboot, but it's still a reboot. But what was it? Dracula 2000 that had Hyde in it from
Yeah.
that 70s show.
It might
I-
as well have been a CW
Basically.
reboot.
Yeah, so I saw that one. And I've seen like, Van Helsing and things like that, but I don't know the last time I actually sat down and watched like the original old school one or any of the other like later remakes. Was there one before Lugosi's?
Well, I mean, the most famous one before Bela Lugosi's was Nosferatu,
No, I mean like
and
just straight up Dracula. Or was he the first
uh,
Dracula?
on film, I mean, technically, Nosferatu was Dracula, and they tried to be clever by changing the names in the title.
Huh. See how much attention
Nosferatu
I
is
paid.
probably the original Nosferatu is probably the closest to the novel you're gonna find. and that is why Mrs. Stoker sued the German company and ordered all the prints to be destroyed, and in her favor for copyright infringement. But thankfully, a handful of prints survived, and um, that's an incredible silent movie to watch. Still creepy, very creepy
Mm-hmm.
to this day.
Yeah.
Um, but Dracula, the way Bram Stoker wrote it, it before a film, it was a stage play, and Bram Stoker intended it to be a stage play, and then he died, and then so his widow would license it out, and then it was Hamilton Dean got a hold of it, and basically that's what you see in the Universal movie. You see the Hamilton Dean production of Dracula. So it's not the novel; it's the stage adaptation done on film. And Bela Lugosi actually played Dracula in over
I
2,000
saw that.
performances before the movie. They didn't even want him for the movie. Um, he was rejected until the last minute. Their first choice was Lon Chaney, um, because he was the horror icon of horror icons at the time, but he ends up dying in 1930 of throat cancer.
Mm.
And they basically picked any other boogeyman in the world to go after. Conrad Veidt. Um, he was in uh, The Man Who Laughs, um, and The Cabinet, Dr. Caligari, and everybody turned them down. And Lugosi kept pitching it and pitching it and pitching it. And he was actually one of the least compensated cast members. David Manners, the leading guy who plays
Mm-hmm.
John Harker, was paid $1,500 a week. Bill Lugosi was paid
Oh wow.
$500 a week for the whole shoot, and he was the face and the star of the movie. So
Oh wow.
not much love and respect for Mr. Lugosi. Uh, but with that said, I mean it stands a test of time because now when you think of Dracula, you don't think of what we just saw with Bill Skarsgård, which actually is on screen the most accurate depiction of Bram Stoker's vision.
I don't think I've
Uh,
seen that at all.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, the new Nosferatu is extremely. It's beautifully shot, but extremely long. So
Mm. I think
make
I
sure
remember
you
you
have
saying that. I need
uh,
like I need intermissions built in, so if I have to like go to the theater or something, which is another reason why I love streaming stuff at home, is because approximately every 45 to 60 minutes I have to pee.
well,
And when
this
I'm
is why I
paying
always say
15 plus dollars for a movie ticket, I don't like having to get up and miss part of the movie so that way I can then, haul ass to the bathroom, pee, and try and get back in like under 2 minutes. It's just not possible. So,
no. This is why I always champion the perfect runtime for a horror movie is 90 minutes.
yes, yes. And even
um,
then, I still, when we're watching movies at home, I still usually have to pause and be like, oh, I need to pee. But I mean, to each their own. Some of us just have tiny bladders.
yeah. Yeah, just don't get mad at him if he falls asleep while you're in the bathroom.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I've been on the wrong end of a couple slaps. You're supposed to be watching a movie. Come and watch the movie. Don't spend the time in the bathroom.
No, we do like the
Love you,
full
honey.
like quick pause, and we both we'll go take a pee break, and then come back. But like it never fails. The movie starts like getting going good, and I'm like, can we pause? I don't want to miss anything, but I'm always
um,
really proud of myself. Like whenever I hit it past the 45-minute mark, I'm like, yeah, I made it 52 minutes.
yeah.
The weird things people don't need to know about me, but now y'all know. Oh man. So I did see that when Dracula came out, it was considered extremely terrifying for people, and like people fainting in the theaters or something like that. Like I feel like I still have it pulled up. But I found that interesting because I feel like most of us nowadays wouldn't really, we wouldn't find it that scary. But I know a lot of people back then, I mean, that was what cutting edge basically. With
Yeah. Well, I mean, put yourself, in 1931, and as films progress, I mean, we're totally desensitized to
mm-hmm.
everything. It's very hard to surprise me when I see a horror movie nowadays, just because you've seen so much and been exposed to so much. But 1931, this you never saw stuff like this.
Yeah.
And the few horror movies that came out before Dracula, they were kind of like murder mystery type movies. Um, there was an explanation, even the Lon Chaney movies. There was an explanation at the end of why this was happening. So so this was like your first bona fide supernatural, at least in America,
Mm-hmm.
um, and where it was like this is evil incarnate, and you're seeing it on screen. And yeah, and a lot of it, was Universal's publicity. They hammed it up just